Have you ever been going to work and been like hated work that much? If you have, then maybe you shouldn't go to work tomorrow. And maybe you should choose your family over policing. I had a staff sergeant in Port Alberni tell me, "Hey, Clint, when somebody comes in and talks to me, man, I document everything." And he was a shithead. He was terrified of his job. And he would never stick up for anybody. He would tear you down for no good reason just to make himself look good. To save his ass. Now, it's just one guy. It becomes a sickness for them, some of them. They don't even realize they're doing it. They're so caught up in it.
And the speed limit is 40, and I was going 38, so why are you harassing me?
You are correct. I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
He's a murderer. And why wouldn't she say that? Trudeau called you racist.
Granny's exotic bar, complete with a stripper pole.
Why wouldn't you? If you're going to have a party, why wouldn't you have a stripper pole? You know what I'm saying? Start with a scratch. I just wrote down something. I was listening to some Miley Cyrus and I said, wouldn't you like going into work knowing you're allowed to fail? Like you're a cop, right? And you're allowed to go in to work knowing that you can fail. Wouldn't that be a great feeling? I've been thinking a lot about being a cop. I pulled out some old emails from the tickle trunk the other day and I'm reading them. Because every now and then I get a shitty email from somebody. I'd print it off. And I'd consume it. Every word, every sentence. I'd go over it and over and over it again. It would remind me of all my failures. I don't know why I got into the email thing, but it would just be nice to go into work. You're a cop. You go into work and you know you're going to fail tonight. And you're not going to get in trouble for it. But that's not what policing is all about, I guess. I don't care what anybody says. I never wrote a 1004. I wrote one 1004 and I never submitted it against a member. I didn't want them feeling that they couldn't fail and that we couldn't correct it in-house. Nobody else needed to know about it. Anyways, guys, I hope when you're working out there that you have a boss that's going to allow you to fail, going to allow you to mess up. And I hope you don't mind that I failed tonight because I got so much to say that I didn't prepare for it. I know I always say that, but I really didn't prepare. I realize I can't prepare for these things. I can't. There is so much going on in the world today to do with policing. It's unbelievable. And I can't prepare for it. If I start preparing for it, I'm never going to spit it out. And yeah, just thought I'd share that with you. Oh, here's some great news. So I've been going back and forth. I found out you guys know I like kokanee with ice, right? I'm over at my parents the other night and they're like, I'm going to tell you. My dad's like, I got to tell you, enough of this. I wouldn't be doing that. Maybe you're right. For now, I'm going to do it. But I found out Labatt, that's who the people... Me and Kokanee have been going back and forth. We've been going back and forth in email, and they want me to send them a business proposal. I told them a few things, what's going on with my channel, and I like their beer. And they're all for it. They're like, I don't know what a business proposal is. And so the other day I'm about to write it. And I'm like, okay, well, I got 1,800 subscribers. And, most people that watch my videos don't subscribe to my channel. It'd be great if you did. if you subscribed. I'm tired of saying that, though. But the big thing is I got 30,000 followers on TikTok. And, oh my God, I got 2.3 million views on one video until they got rid of it. I got 1 million views on another video. So things are going pretty good, and it's something that I can put in my business proposal. They're going to like that. Labatt's going to like that, right? 4 days ago, I wake up. No more TikTok. It's gone. They banned me. It doesn't make any sense. I've never showed any violence. It was mostly training videos. But I noticed that people do not like cops on TikTok. Regular TikTok accounts can flag your video, and then TikTok removes it. You appeal it, and you hope you win. A lot of times you don't. I showed a video of me being tasered at police taser training, and they took it off. They said it was violent, dangerous acts. So I appeal it. I win. I showed a pit maneuver, a cop doing a pit maneuver. They take it down. I appeal it. I lose. I'm like, wow. What other video? There's been a couple more videos that I put up. A video that got 2.3 million views. They took it down. I put it up again. They wouldn't reinstall it. They wouldn't repost it. Put it back up for me. I lost the appeal. So I put the video back up. They take it down. I appeal it and I win that video. So TikTok. Oh my God, man. So I wake up. It's gone. Just like that. It's kind of scary. You know, you do all this work. And I'm gonna start over. But am I going to get 30,000 followers again? Probably not. You know, it's going to take a long time. I kind of fluked out with one of the videos. I don't know, pretty sketchy. There's girls, 15-year-old girls, half naked on TikTok dancing around like it's something else. There's a lot of pedophile, it seems like, on TikTok. You know what I mean? And I get banned? One girl filmed her sexual assault. It stays. And I'm filming dangerous, violent acts, I guess. Here I go, whining again. Anyways, Kokanee, I don't know what to tell you now. 1,800 subscribers. I can't say 30,000 followers on TikTok. Oh well, start over. I'm going to tell you guys something. Got this in the mail today. Kind of cool. You know, I don't get a lot of things in the mail. And I thought it was kind of nice. It says, thank you so much. The Blue Line Candle Company. A pillar of our company is supporting the community, which is why we donate our percentage of our proceeds. And they write me a little note here. Clinton, we wanted to take a moment to recognize the outstanding work you are doing. It's not that outstanding with your podcast, but thanks. As first responders, we see the struggles you speak about firsthand. With the current climate towards policing, law enforcement in North America, your voice is a much-needed change from the constant negativity. Well, I'm pretty negative. And misinformation surrounding law enforcement. You're right. Thank you for being a light in the darkness and a voice for those who are still on the job and unable to speak. Keep up the great work. Your friends at the Thin Blue Line Candle Company. And I think there's a lot of police officers that actually work for this company. And they sell stuff, which is kind of cool. And they sent me some candles that help you sleep. And other things. It is so dark in here, all of a sudden. 3 a.m. fix. Thanks, guys. Nice stuff. I love it. And I'm going to light one. There's some stuff in that one. Looks like food, but it looks kind of cool. What's that called? It's called 3 a.m. fix. I guess if you're having a tough time at 3 a.m., like I do, you light this. Let's light this bitch up. You know what sucks about me? I can't smell. I think it's a smelly candle. Put it by the surge. Maybe it'll light up. They don't have to take it away from me. Oh, yeah. Okay, don't fall asleep on me, okay? I had to show you this. I don't get gifts. This looks legit. I show the woman, and she reads the cards and stuff, and I'm like, "Well, you take it easy. I got this in there," and I pull this out. Well, I just did that, but this is like this, and I'm like, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't care about this part, but it could have been this part." Nice little note. I don't get nice notes like that. You know what sucks about my surge? I never got more stars. I just stopped at 1. You know what I mean? I hate that I did that. Can we talk about Jennifer Pound for a bit? Jennifer Pound, my memory is she's one of the first women to stand up for other members. That's my memory of her. When she came out and said she has PTSD, it was brave. The women brought notice to everybody of what was going on in the RCMP. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's nice. They need to be recognized for what they did. Because I don't care what anybody says. It was brave. You want to go out? You want to come out in public and tell people that you got PTSD? She is one of the persons responsible for changes in the RCMP. Have there been changes? Well, we'll get to that. But I'm just thankful for people like Jennifer Pound and Benson. Jay Pound, she retired the other day. I'm like, holy shit, I thought you already retired. Like she was sticking it out. And she went to CTV. I mean, and she did a little, I don't know, CTV. I don't know. CTV, Global, CBC. I guess she wanted to be a voice. She wanted her voice to... She used CTV to get her voice out, I'm sure. But they interviewed her, and I just want to play a little bit of it.
In every sense of the word, he was a true victim.
Okay, so Jennifer Pound, she... Holy shit. Okay. She really delved in to stories, bad stories that happen to people. And that has to take a toll on you to feel the pain of other people, listen to their stories, and console them.
It was just slipping more into an abyss of illness and not being able to get out of bed and hitting just a really, really deep, dark depression.
Deep, dark depression. Absolutely. Guaranteed this girl went through a deep, dark depression. What do? You go to work, you hate it because you can't take it anymore. You go home, you hate it. Work's not good. Family life's not good. She chose her family life. She chose to get better. She chose to take some time off. And if you guys are that way, you take time off. You don't go to work tomorrow. You don't have to. You don't have to go to work tomorrow. Did you know that?
I wasn't offered anything. Like I was floundering on my own. The very first...
She wasn't offered anything when she went off. Can you imagine that?
Anything. Like I was floundering on my own. The very first call that I received from the RCMP was from the graduated return to work people to say, when are you going to get back to work?
Yeah. When are you getting back to work? You know why they do that? Because they can't stand that you're off collecting a paycheck. When you're getting back to work, they don't understand. And that really is the problem. They don't understand. They don't see it. It shouldn't be her fault. It should be their fault for not understanding. 6 weeks, usually, to fix a broken bone. Years to fix a broken mind. And they're asking her, when you coming back to work? But when you go off like she did, the pressure to get back, like could you imagine getting that call? When you coming back to work? We need you back at work. The pressure of making it worse.
I knew I couldn't go back and feel good about myself for working for an organization that I knew had forgotten me as soon as I stepped out the door.
And believe me, I've seen it. People step out the door. Forgotten. But this reporter here that you see right now, her name's Regan. And she actually, I think she did a great job. Yeah, I'm telling you that CTV, this lady, this girl, and I like her eyebrows, did a good job on interviewing her. I like what she says here. Just listen to this.
And what triggered Pound's PTSD? Was it a particular case?
Well, she didn't go into those details to protect the privacy of a lot of the families, but as you heard in that story, it was working with those families that was really the breaking point with her, dealing with a lot of their trauma and darkness that eventually seeped into her own life, and that's how she ended up struggling with the PTSD.
Listen to that for a second. This girl knows what she's talking about, this reporter. Struggling with PTSD. A lot of cops, you guys have PTSD. A lot of cops, you don't even know it. And it's okay to have PTSD. It's fine to have PTSD. But it's not fine to struggle with PTSD. Pound was struggling with PTSD. Probably a little angry here. Probably drinking a lot. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. Probably crying. Probably a different person. Ruining her life, ruining her work life, ruining her family life. She wasn't coping with PTSD. You have to cope with it. And what do some in the RCMP do? When you coming back to work?
Tomorrow we'll speak to a psychologist working with officers about what's changed over the last few years and where members are still falling through the cracks. Jason?
And you know what? That brings me on to my next point. Is it Shirley Benson? Cheryl Benson? Sherry Benson. And I'm going to tell you something. These guys need credit. They need credit. They were the ones that came forward. These girls got guts. The guys didn't do it. There's a ton of guys being bullied in the RCMP. And believe me when I tell you, there is bullying in the RCMP. There isn't racism. There's no systemic racism. But bullying exists. And I'm here to support RCMP. I am here to support members. I love members. But I'm going to call it like it is, too. There's fucking bullying in the RCMP. I've seen it with my constables. I've seen it with management. What's changed over the last few years? I'm going to tell you what's changed over the last few years. The bullies have become stronger. I feel bad with Sherry Benson because I kind of went at her. I went at her when she went on CTV. I don't know which one it was, but she started talking about Chief Adam Allen being tackled. And anyways, I said some things. I went hard on her. And yes, she's allowed to have an opinion. And maybe sometimes I should take it easy. I don't know. But I felt bad. Okay, Sherry, I felt bad. But Sherry did a TED Talk back in 2015. And I'm just going to bring up a couple of things that she talked about. She was bullied in the RCMP. She was called Beaver Face or something like that. She didn't like it. And she felt alone. Guaranteed she probably was alone. And that's a terrible feeling. And she's going to work one day. And she's like, oh my God. I got to go into work today. And this is what she says.
I still remember that January morning, 10 years ago, driving to work, and I realized, oh my gosh, if I go to work one more day, I'm going to die. I didn't know how I was going to die. I just knew I was going to die. That night when I went to my bedroom,
That's pretty powerful shit. You know what I mean? Have you ever been going to work and been like hated work that much? If you have, then maybe you shouldn't go to work tomorrow. And maybe you should choose your family over policing. She says something here at 7:41 I want you to hear.
created my toolkit, my survival toolkit.
Okay, she's got this toolkit. She's going to bring some tools out.
Number one, document, document, document. I began to document the incidents of bullying way back in the beginning, and it was really just a form of journaling. I wrote down dates, times, places, who said what, when and where, the good, the bad, and the ugly, including my mistakes. And if anything, it gave me the power of my voice to say, hey, this is what's happened to me. This is what I tried to do. This is what didn't work. This is what did work. And by journaling it, it was the power of my voice. And I thought in 2007.
Okay, so she started documenting everything that's happened to her, and it gave her power because she was smarter than them. Because it is a fight for some people. And it worked back then. But it doesn't. It's made the bullies smarter, guys. So what are they doing? What are the bullies doing? They're documenting. They spend a lot of their time documenting. They have a conversation with you, they're documenting it. It's given the bully more power. This is hard for me to explain. But during these changes within the RCMP, it has strengthened the bully. What does the bully do? They don't just write it down. They'll write you a 1004, a negative 1004. They'll strike first. You complain, they strike first with a 1004 or a code of conduct. I've seen it. It's sick. And you know who you are. It worked before because they weren't documenting. But they are now. They're scared shitless. How do I save my ass? I'll write that member a negative 1004. Then, you're just going to look like a complaining constable or a complaining corporal. Oh, he's just unhappy because he got a negative 1004. I called him a poor performer even though you weren't. But because I wrote it, and I documented it, and I submitted it with RCMP documents, it looks real. And it makes your complaint look frivolous. I don't know what the answer is. But sure in the hell, they listened to her. And I'm not putting her down. She did a great job with the speech and stuff like that. I didn't agree with all of it. But it sure woke them up. I had a staff sergeant in Port Alberni tell me, hey, Clint, when somebody comes in and talks to me, man, I document everything. And he was a shithead. He was scared, tired. He was terrified of his job. And he would never stick up for anybody. He would tear you down for no good reason just to make himself look good. To save his ass. Now, that's just one guy. How many more are there? It becomes a sickness for them, some of them. They don't even realize they're doing it. They're so caught up in it. And I feel bad saying this stuff because I know recruits want to become cops and maybe they'll have a handle by the time you become a cop. And this doesn't happen everywhere. There's some great places to work. There's some great watches you could work on. There's some great managers. You're just seeing the real bad side of it. There's a lot of good sides. I got to tell you guys this. I got to tell you this. I got to tell you. Derek Chauvin was found guilty of 2nd degree, 3rd degree manslaughter because of what he did to George Floyd. Okay? Could you imagine being a cop and not having a fair trial? Whether you're right or wrong, I don't know. I still have a problem with cops being found criminally responsible for shit. But if something bad happened, you got arrested and you got charged and you're going to court, you're going to want a fair trial, right? Guess what happened? Juror number 52. Did you hear about this guy? It turns out he's a Black Lives Matter activist. Juror 52, his last name is Mitchell. Back in August, before the trial, this is a big deal. A big deal. He's at protests wearing a shirt that says, "Get your knee off our necks." Talking about George Floyd, okay? They're going to pick him for juror duty. When you go for juror duty, they ask you a few questions. This guy says, they asked him if he knew anything about the Chauvin Floyd case. He said no. He just heard some basic info. Oh my God. And he has a podcast, guys. He's got a podcast. He's at George Floyd protests wearing a Black Lives Matter hat and a t-shirt that says, get your effing, I don't know, get your knee off my neck. Do you think you're going to get a fair trial? Could you imagine? Squirrely. This world is squirrely. The jury deliberated for 10 hours. Biggest case in the world. And it only took them 10 hours. They didn't even ask the judge for more information. They asked no questions. He told the court, "Oh, there's nothing that would keep me from serving as an impartial juror." Wow. You don't think that's a big deal? Some of you are probably saying, no. He got a fair trial. He already convicted Derek Chauvin. Well, all of them did. They already convicted him before he even started his trial. I mean, the jury was from Minneapolis, where it happened. The guy didn't stand a chance. And can you say another trial? Of course. Of course there's going to be another trial. He basically lied to get on the jury. I don't get it. How did nobody know about this? Nobody knew about this. Keep it light, Clint. Okay. Keep it light. This is going to be a long-ass podcast because I got shit to say and there is just so much going on. Oh, my God. I think it's California, but in the States somewhere. This lady gets pulled over by a Mexican police officer. I know you've seen it. But defund the police, right? I've always talked about this on my podcast. When you say defund the police, that all police are racist. This is a result of what happens when you get pulled over by the police now. You've taken the police's power. Everybody looks at you like you're the shit rat. This lady gets pulled over somewhere in California, okay? And just listen to this. Do you think this is going to get better? No, it's going to get worse because of politicians.
Harassed today because I was going under the speed limit. I was going at 38.
Yes, you are, ma'am. Good morning.
And the speed limit is 40, and I was going 38, so why are you harassing me?
You are correct. I pulled you over because
you're a murderer.
Because
yes, I started to record because you're a murderer.
You can't be...
He's a murderer. And why wouldn't she say that? Trudeau called you racist. Lucky called you racist. When you don't stand up for police and you lie about police, people are going to look at you like you're nothing. Biden? Like, the whole world is against police. So what do you expect the public to do when you... Do you think they're going to treat police with any kind of respect? Or
Be on your cell phone while you're driving.
I wasn't on my phone. I was recording you because you scared me.
You can't use your cell
She wasn't on her phone. She was scared. He scared her.
phone while you're recording.
You.
May I have your driver's license?
It's at my apartment.
What's your apartment?
It's at my home. I'm just taking my son to his.
Do you have your driver's license?
I mistakenly left it at home.
Do you have a picture of your driver's license?
Yes, I do.
May I have it?
And can you call your supervisor, please?
I already did. He's on his way.
Good, because you're a murderer.
Okay.
You're a murderer.
And so you're giving me a cell phone ticket? Is that why you're harassing me?
Not harassment. Yeah. I am enforcing the law.
I have a right to record the police when they're harassing me.
By all means, but you can't do it while you're driving.
I wasn't texting or none of that.
I swear to God, if I was still a cop, I would just be. I can't. I'm not going to tell you what I do.
Do you have that picture?
You scared me and made me think you were going to murder me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, that's not just a feeling. You're a murderer.
Okay. Can you zoom in on that for me,
Sure.
dear? Thank you.
And I'm perfectly legal, and I'm a teacher. So there.
Congratulations.
She's a teacher. And I'm a teacher. Okay.
You're a murderer.
What's your last name? I can't see that there.
Well,
if
here you
stop,
go,
Stop
murderer.
shaking. Zoom in on that for me,
No, because you're scaring me. You're threatening to...
Scaring me. What a show. This is the world. This is the world we live in now. Because of Trudeau. Oh my God, how many times I gotta say it, right? The people running the world, this is why it's like this. It has nothing to do with the police officers. It has to do with the people running the world. Well, it's because the police put them in that, they put themselves in that position. No, not at all. 99.9% of the time, everything goes fine. The only time you see something bad is because the media chooses to pick it and show it to you. They don't show you the good things, only the bad things. So it's not just the politicians, it's the media too. It's a joke, it's a sham. You guys are being fooled. Think about the little old ladies that believe this stuff. Think about, well...
To kill me and my son. Can you give me
the well, I'll tell you what, you keep smiling.
Yeah, you're scaring me. You're threatening to kill me and my son. Can you give me
I'll tell you what, you keep smiling. You're on camera.
You're trying to threaten to kill me. I'm not smiling. You're the one who's crazy.
Hold that still. I can't see that. Is this your car?
Yes, it is. And you're trying to say I stole my own car because you're jealous?
You know what? What if this guy didn't have a camera on? You know what I mean? Would he have been fired? Would they have believed what she had to say?
I don't think so.
You wait for me right here, okay?
You're jealous?
Citation. All you need to do is your signature. He's only citing you for using your cell phone while you're driving. That's it.
There you go, ma'am.
Which is bullshit. They should have gave it 2 tickets. One for no DL and the cell phone, being on the cell phone.
Sign inside the red box right there.
For him being a Mexican racist. What is that name? Gasso.
It's on the citation, ma'am.
Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right?
He doesn't want to be white.
You'll never be white, which is...
He doesn't want to be white.
What you really want to be.
There you go, dear.
White.
Have a good day.
You want to be white so bad.
I don't know. Do you even care? It's gotten so crazy. Does it even matter? Hey, guys, did you know? Did you know that if you break... Okay. My boy's 11. Let's say he's 12, okay? He can be arrested by police. When you hit 12, you can be arrested. It's called it used to be called the Young Offenders Act. I don't know why GCJABCD now. Offenders Act. But did you know my 12-year-old son, if he breaks COVID rules, he could be arrested for manslaughter. Do you know what happened in BC the other day? I'm going to show it to you. This kid gets arrested, spends a day in jail. jail because he broke COVID rules. Mo Mavasaki got sentenced, and this is what the judge has to say about Mo.
A socially distanced and masked Momo Visagi following COVID rules.
Following COVID rules. I can't stand that voice.
Right?
Oh, the orange room. Number 5, orange. I didn't catch that the first time I seen this. That's a good little shop.
As he walked away from provincial court with a sentence of 18 months probation and 1 day in jail after
18 months probation, guys.
credit for time served.
Okay, I know there's more to the story, but I don't care. This time I don't care. Maybe he... I don't know the guy's story. Maybe he had a criminal record. You never get the full story, right, when you watch the news. But what the news is reporting to us is because he broke COVID rules, he got 18 months of probation and a night in jail.
For breaching public health orders.
Breaching public health orders.
The 42-year-old arrested in January after turning his Vancouver penthouse into a party palace during the pandemic.
I gotta read. That's a lot of P's, lady. Alliterations.
Palace during the pandemic. Granny's exotic bar, complete with a stripper pole.
Why wouldn't you? If you're gonna have a party, why wouldn't you have a stripper pole? You know what I'm saying?
Stacks of cash in a safe,
So?
a DJ booth, and tons of alcohol.
Tons.
Judge Ellen
Oh, hold on. Look at it all. There's some water. It looks like more water over here. Ooh, maybe some coolers. Maybe some vodka drinks. There's some cranberry juice. Tons of alcohol.
Gordon didn't hold back, telling Movisagi, if someone who had been at your party was infected and died, as far as I'm concerned, you're guilty of manslaughter.
Think about that, guys. If somebody would have died, he's guilty of manslaughter. What's the judge's name? Ellen Gordon. If somebody would have went home to Grandma and gave it to Grandma, and Grandma died, you're guilty of manslaughter. You're probably thinking, oh, this is not a big deal. That would never happen. This is what they're talking about. The restrictions are here for a long time. They want to threaten you with a criminal justice system now. This guy just got convicted. 18 months probation is a big deal. For having a party? If my son doesn't follow COVID rules properly, maybe he's running around the park without a mask, he gets COVID, he comes home and gives it to me and I die? According to what you're about to hear, he might face manslaughter. As far as I'm concerned, you should be guilty of manslaughter. This is Canada. No, this is communism. This is crazy that they're even talking about like this.
If someone who had been at your party was infected and passed it on to Grandma, as far as I'm concerned, you're guilty of manslaughter.
This could be manslaughter because...
Oh, who is Wally Opal? This could be manslaughter. I mean, do you even know what day it is, Wally? Oh, give me a fucking break.
This could be manslaughter.
This could be manslaughter.
It was an unlawful act, and it could result in death.
Gordon compared...
So all those kids running around Florida. Oh, does it... I can't even talk about it. It's just so stupid.
Compared Movisagi's actions to selling fentanyl on the street.
Oh, it's the same as selling fentanyl on the street. Oh, my God. Oh, you've lost your minds. Entire British Columbia.
Movisagi's actions to selling fentanyl on the street. There's no difference. You voluntarily assumed a risk that could kill people in the midst of a pandemic.
There's no difference, guys. It's the same as selling fentanyl on the streets. There's no difference.
The unlawful act would be the willful taking of chances by bringing all of these people in during a pandemic. That is reckless behavior.
Reckless behavior during a pandemic. Wally, if you're that scared of getting COVID, don't go out and about. You know what I mean? Stay home, okay? This guy that got arrested, he knows he's not going to die from COVID. The majority of people aren't. It's 98% of people who get it don't die from it. Oh, what's she going to say? Oh, this is a lawyer, okay? Ultimately speaking,
if you pass COVID on to somebody and they die, you could legally be held responsible.
Although criminal lawyer and COVID survivor Kyla Lease...
COVID survivor. Guys, she's a COVID survivor. Oh my God. Way to go. Did you think you were going to die from it? With that little cough that you had?
Says it would be very tough to prove in court.
Then why
in those
say
situations, transmission at the event would have to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. It would be a very difficult
Well, we all know that beyond a reasonable doubt doesn't mean anything now, right?
burden for Crown to meet.
But both Lee and Wally Opal agree the judge's message to
Both Lee and Wally Opal agree the judge's message
Movasaji is what everyone needs to hear.
Everybody needs to hear it, guys. Even though Grandma and Grandpa are protected right now. The vulnerable, most of them, protected. The reason I bring this up, because it's scary. It's scary because it tells me they're really not going to open anything up. Not for a long time. You guys should be worried about that. We don't live in this world. We shouldn't be living in this world. We should be living in a world where we have choice.
Conduct will not be tolerated.
Movasaji is what everyone needs to hear.
This type of conduct will not be tolerated.
You sound like an idiot. You sound like a complete idiot. It won't be tolerated. He's probably right, though. But you sound like an idiot. You're probably right. It's not being tolerated. Look what we've done. Travel bans. My buddy lives in Vancouver. His mom lives in Port Alberta. He's a cop. He's not allowed to catch the ferry and visit his mom because it's not essential. Travel can only be essential. And then, would you not say that is essential travel? We just sit back. Well, he deserved it. Crazy that a judge would say those words, compare him to manslaughter. Tell me that my 12-year-old son, if I had one, could be going to jail for life for manslaughter if he doesn't wear his mask at a park. But we just sit back and I don't know. I'm not going to talk about anything else. I wrote down, I said, be loose, Clint, and calm down at the beginning. And I don't know. I don't think I was. Okay. It was shit. This podcast was a big bag of dicks, and it's going to take me 17 days to edit it at this, and I got to get back on the TikTok. And thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
What's that?